Hey everybody, Jay here. Much love to you. May peace be upon you. Right, Merlin?
Meow.
What a day. We're here at Election Day 2024, coming to you live from Chicago, Illinois. I tried to record this video last night, but ended up being 16 minutes, so I'm going to try to keep it short. I think that this time, right now, this election, one of the biggest upsides for it is our conversations and connections that we have about our political world. A political world that in this nation, without our consent, has involved United States citizens and our taxpayer dollars in a active genocide and Holocaust that is going on in Gaza and Palestine. This, for reasons need not explained, is a top of mind issue for so many of us. I myself have been, I call myself an organizer for the last 5 years now. Now view it more as relationship builder and community member, but organizing all the same. And in these last 5 years, nothing has emerged as an issue like the active genocide in Palestine. And it is the central thing I have to thank for recognizing that we cannot normalize these conditions that allow to such death, such dispossession of land, resources, and our spirit as human beings. We don't deserve to have to explain or think in any sense of any kind of word this is even remotely okay. It's not. It must stop. And a lot of my decisions of this election are based on that. And I think it is connected to so many issues. Palestine is an intersection in so many ways. Thank you to the beautiful people of Palestine that show us what it means to be steadfast and show us how to resist ways that we all, I think, can recognize we exist in the middle of here in this country. We have to do all we can. And as people, I am proud of us. I know that a lot of ways we're not doing enough to stop the harm, stop the suffering. But at the same time, we are doing a lot of people-centered things that are bringing the solutions. Mutual aid, direct action, disruption of the status quo. These are all things that without them, we will not survive. We cannot continue on the trajectory that we are. And so through the direct action that we've done over the last year and a half, we need to do more of it. But the actions that we have done have built a lot of skill. The people are where the answers are going to come from. The people I've met at Actions, we are connected now. We are strategizing all the time. It's why I'm voting for Jill Stein. We have to build another route besides the duopoly. The scenario of mutual aid, the scenario of community building in ways that unfortunately our federal government are not really making a difference in our lives, making it easier to make ends meet. So we're turning to each other. And with Black Underground Recycling, with the Grace People's Pantry up in Kenosha, Wisconsin, we're leaning into mutual aid. With our mutual aid show force here in Chicago, the people are giving me hope. We know that we have to be able to do it ourselves and not rely on the government. There are certain liberties, certain protections, certain these things that we are enmeshed in our nation, that whether we like it or not, we are enmeshed in these. So I also know that the people in my communities are showing up in inside games. Not that it's a place I can see myself being authentically, but within some of our friends and colleagues that are in the Democratic Party that are trying to do good where they can. I'm not here to make my friends and comrades' jobs harder. I am standing on principles in a very proud way and excited to submit my vote for Stein Ware later so that we can have a chance at building the Greens Party to be another vehicle for representation where we're really lacking for that. And so I just come on to say that voting, yes, we gotta get practice in all the democratic ways that we can. And I have seen much more promise in these last few years, all the way from working from Bernie in 2019 and 2020, which was very policy focused, and had a movement that brought us to the fold to beat Trump and to do all these things. Since then, we have gotten really engaged and have even passed some things federally with the PACT Act. Like, a lot of this legislation is from the people. So let's put hope in each other. Let's connect with each other. We're not each other's enemy, even if we disagree about a candidate, even if we disagree about a worldview, where we are in our journey of understanding that the United States is a settler colony that has imparted its tentacles across the country, across the world, across our planet. And we have to resist. We are learning ways to resist. and we cannot accept this as normal. So as we continue to evolve, change, look for the good in each other, look for the good in even our elected officials, as we push for good policies, we can call them in to see and to know that we can break the cycle of continuing to just give more interests towards corporate forces or war forces. The people are going to be the ones to say it how it is going to emerge, and we should take that lead rather than politicians saying what needs to happen. So I would love if we can embody that. And yeah, as we have ideas, if anybody has the most moving idea, this would be a beautiful place in this network to continue to let loose what we feel is going to be needed. Mutual aid, community building, indigenous justice. I've been working with an organization that we're starting called Mukwa that is so exciting. We're going to be protecting the water, protecting the land, standing up to extraction with more pipelines to kill the black snake. Check out documentary Black Snake Killers. It's some really killers. It's really amazing. And reach out to me if anybody has these issues. But let's be connected. Let's stay together and know that we're not each other's enemies. We have real enemies. They're bombing children in Gaza and in Palestine and across the world, in Sudan and the Congo. All these areas where extraction, capital, and empire have a hand. Let's go there and resist it and set all of us free, so we all may reach liberation from these old, dusty, no good ways of colonization that thinks that dominion and can just take and take and take. That's not what nature intended. That's not what Mama Aki is trying to tell us. That's not a way that resonates with Mother Earth. So let's lean to each other and nature, because the ways are there if we can just be open enough to listen. And being really strategic with this time, I see a lot of it, and I want to lift that up and say I'm proud of us. And I appreciate you all for trusting that I'm being very thoughtful, that we're all being very thoughtful in these decisions, and that there isn't great options in this scenario. So we can keep learning. We can keep learning how nefarious the United States history is, and how we can, if you're here in America, how we can unwind that. Keep taking action, boycott, divestment, sanctions, keep educating, keep learning, keep talking to each other. These things will get us there. And it's hard to say, but even in times as dark as these, I do have hope, because we know that we can turn to each other with these solutions and put trust in each other, rather than those who will take that trust and run with it in places that weren't worthy of the power and trust that we give to each other. So much love. Yeah, until the next time we cross paths, just know that we have opportunities to organize, to unite, to build our communities, to build resilience and food and local care and power for the future. And we'll do that. And it's unfortunate that we have a lot of divisive tactics that prevent us from doing so, but let's stay focused on we are together. We might disagree, but even through our disagreements, these things make us stronger. We all have something to learn from one another. And one of my favorite songs I've been listening to recently, Nickel Creek, there is an album that just came out, and it says that we all can only change as much as we're willing to be changed. So may we challenge ourselves and challenge each other with that balance, that in a reciprocal kind of way, in right relationship with each other and our other siblings, that we can give a little to each other. If we're expecting anybody to see something our way, that maybe we have something to learn as well. And it's really freeing and really fun to live that way. So much love, everybody. Thanks for listening. Let's do it. And I'd love to hear how we can continue to strategize past today. Peace. Oh, and Merlin reminded me to give a shout out to Code Whatever, where we're building human rights literacy, coding, all kinds of things. So I'll drop that in below, so we have a chance to follow along and stay connected in these various endeavors. And also, if you would please consider sharing or donating to the fundraiser campaign for a beautiful family, Mohammed and Layla's family, with their wonderful children, who are doing their best to survive and make it in Gaza. I'll share a link to that fundraiser, and it's in my bio. And I would really appreciate if anybody helps in that effort as mutual aid as well. So onward to justice, love, and togetherness. And see you next time. Bye, y'all.